Hello, Jim Lynn here. Welcome back to the workshop. I'm back working on the workbench undercarriage again, and there's a wee bit of prep work that I still need to do before I can do any joinery. So I'm going to begin by working on the central area of these short pieces. Have a look at this. Right, now if you remember in the last episode I did quite a lot of work on the ends of all these pieces. And there's a possibility that that may have created a bump in the middle. So we can check that with the straight edge. If I lay it right across as far as I can, it's not quite long enough, this straight edge. Now if I lay it down and just move one end and watch where it rotates, it's rotating at the end here and then obviously here. Now that tells me that there isn't a bump here. If there was a bump, it would balance on the bump like that. So I don't need to do any work to correct a bump in the middle. However, I made these areas here out of wind with each other. And there is a possibility that there's a little bit of a wind in this area. So we can check that quite easily with the straight edges. Put one at that end. And if I put one at this end, I'll just check before I go any further that these two areas are still in wind. Yep, they're still good. So all I need to do now is move this stick to the centre and crouch down again. And it is ever so slightly high on this side. So what I'll do is move to the other end, check it again. And that says it's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave that as it is. So we can say that that surface is okay. Right, let's do the same on the reference side. So that is this side and the grain runs differently. So I'll just turn it around. Okay, we'll do the same thing again. Let's check for a bump in the middle. So I'll put it in the middle first of all. That's okay. Putting it here. That's okay. Right, so there's no bump. How about wind? Let's check my ends first of all. They're still good. Move to the middle. Well, here's a problem. If these are all good, I'm not going to get to show you how I correct it. Well, that is ever so slightly high on that side. Again, as we did for the reference edge, let's check it reference to the other end. No, that's level. So we're all good so far, but we do need to check square. So where's the reference edge? It's there. So we know these two are square. They're square enough. I'm not going to touch them. Let's try this in the middle. Yeah, it's slightly high here. So I could probably just take a shaving off there. So as that's the case, let me just check the other ends. I said I wasn't going to, but no, that's okay. And that's okay. So we're all good. So let's just take off a shaving. Here's the number 5.5, freshly sharpened. And I want to just take from about this area. Don't want to touch these because I know these are fine. So let's take just one shaving. That's barely cutting. Maybe take another. And then move into the middle. Just to feather that off. Stop cutting there. And has that solved the problem? A little bit more. Back down. Take another shaving. Resist the temptation, take another one in case it's too much. Yeah, that's good. Back up. Check. Still there. Keep going. Backwards and forwards. so we get it right. Maybe I'll take another one. Let's kind of stop cutting. Might need to just take a shiver more. There we go. I'm getting out of breath already. Combination of age. Yeah, it's just age. That's all it is. It's not a combination of age and anything else. But we've still got that annoying little bit there. Let me just think about this. Am I doing this in the right direction? Yeah, it is. It's this end. Yeah, sometimes I second guess myself. And that's a good thing. Stops you going too far in the wrong direction. So let's take maybe a couple off here. Stop cutting there. Move into the middle. That's good. So we just keep going. Now we're careful not to create a bump, because that's what we don't want. We've already checked for that. That's not too bad. Still a little bit. Now because I've hollowed out this area, because I'm not touching these ends, I might need to take slightly more depth of cut this time, so just nudge it a fraction. That sounds better. And again into the middle. Make sure we always work the middle after correcting the edges to make sure we're not creating that bump. And you can tell we worked the middle because the writing's moved away. Now you might be thinking, why do you have to be this accurate? Well, you might as well be accurate. You might as well be as accurate as you can. But that sorted it. There's nothing there. So we can call this side done. I'll make my usual square marks there, and I'll write in again ref side, like that. Good. So the question is, just how accurate do you have to be in preparing these surfaces? Well, I think definitely for the reference side and the reference edge, you need to be as accurate as you can, because these are the surfaces on which you'll lay out all your joinery. So all your joints depend on these being accurate, and by accurate I mean pretty flat and pretty square to each other. Now because all your joinery is being laid out from these surfaces, you don't need to be too accurate with the face edge or the face side. Now the face side, I might actually have to go in from this side to do my through mortises, but it doesn't need to be that accurate. But what I will do is just check there's no bumps in the middle, because that's going to make it easier to put the set square across. So I'll use the straight edge. Looks okay there. Fine there. And fine there. So as far as all four flat surfaces are concerned, I'm happy with that. I'm happy that the ref side and the ref edge are as accurate as they can be. But the one thing I need to check is the squareness from the ref side and edge to the ends, because I'm going to be laying out joinery from one of those ends. So that's what we're going to do next. Okay, I checked both ends of the blank and discovered that they were out of square by equal amounts. So I've just chosen this one end because it's the one in the best condition. And the first thing I'm going to do is to mark where the reference side is. So I'm just going to put a mark here for the time being, and the reference edge is here. It's just to remind me so I don't measure from the wrong side. Now let's check square. So first of all, with the reference edge, I'll put the square there, and you can see that it's definitely not square. There's quite a big gap there. So the high spot is at this end. That's this end here. So I'll make a big red X there. I'll just check it in a different position as well. It's just the same. So that's big red X there. Now checking it from the reference side, you can see the high spot is on this side. See it rocking there? High spot is there. So I've got to take shavings in that direction. So what I'm going to do is use my block plane. There's the block plane. It's just freshly sharpened. Actually, first thing I'm going to do is to bevel these edges like that. Just adjusting as I go. By beveling the edges, I hope to stop splitting. It might seem strange to bevel the sides, but I don't want to cut myself. And it might seem strange to bevel the end that I'm going to start from, but again, I don't want to cut myself. Let's do this side. Now we'll heavily bevel this side. Because I don't want that splitting. In fact, there's already a split there. There's nothing I can do about that. That's already split. Right, let's start taking some shavings. I'm just going to do stop shavings, going to about here initially. Maybe skew it a little bit to help with the cutting. And I'm guessing it won't take long before this blade gets blunt. This is quite tough end grain. I'll move forward a bit more. So still with the stop shavings. Starting to feel good actually. Move a bit further down. Now I'm correcting this slope first, but I'm going to start biasing towards this side to correct this edge too. So let's do some of that. A bit more work on this side, then gradually move into the middle. It's difficult to see, but there's a nice line appearing here as I work. Probably prudent to stop now. Do a bit of a check. Not expecting it to be corrected, but we need to see where we are. It's not too bad there. Certainly not as bad as it was. Let's try this side. That's pretty good there already. So I don't need to take any more off this area. That still needs work. Good. So we need to do a bit more work here. So I'll start with the short stop shavings again. Gradually working my way down. A little bit more there, but we're kind of okay. A little bit more there, not much. That's good. That's good. That's not too bad. So where do we say we need a little bit more work on this side here, but more from the middle I think. So trying to hollow out the middle a little bit to make sure I've not got any bumps. How are we doing now? Still a bit more work to be done here and here. So more to come off this end in general, but that's not bad now. A little bit high there and quite high on there. This is all square to this side now, but we still need a bit more work off here. So let's make sure we're quite even with that. So short shavings, 2, 2, 2, a bit more in the middle, a bit further down, a little bit more in the middle, there's that split. Let's do a bit more, short, medium, feel the blade starting to get blunt now, and full length. Let's try that. Very slight now, we're getting pretty close. Still a bit high at this end. Let's go. Tiny amount. A little bit high there though. How about across? Good. Still a bit high there. So let's go. Keep going. You have to try and use your body to provide the force. Try and keep your arms locked and go right through, pushing with your legs. Right, let's try that. I think we must be pretty close now, if not gone slightly too far. That's good. It's good. A little bit high there. Good. I think there's a bump in the middle there. Let's work on that. Keep going until it stops cutting. The last thing we need is bumps. That's good. Right, I think we've cracked that. I think that's close enough. Certainly from the ref side it's square that way, and that's where I'm going to be doing a lot of the joinery, so I'm happy with that. As long as it's square in this area here. Doesn't matter so much about that area, so I'm calling that done. and we've got ref side square, ref edge square, done. Well, I'm fairly pleased with that, and that's one blank complete, ready for joinery. I'll continue with the other 4 off camera, but it's all I've got time for in this episode, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Mr. Lynn's Workshop.